2x variable scope. On another day, you might have the EVA. You might have an EVA on rotation with a double tap and a close quarters threat scope. And we try to pick these attachments to not only match the weapons that we have on daily rotation, but to also mesh well with other weapons that we have in the game. So, maybe I don't want an EVA, but I'm a really big fan of the G7 and the double tap is there. So I'm excited to engage with the system and craft something out of it, even though all of the things on rotation aren't necessarily things that I want. And then finally, when it comes to rotations, anything that's on rotation during that day is not going to be spawning in the ground loot. So if a gun is on rotation and you want to play that gun, you have to engage with the crafting system in order to get it.
If you followed the dev streams, you remember season 5. We didn't have a weapon in season 5, and you remember me saying that we kind of thought the loot pool was starting to get a little dense, especially for weapons, and we didn't think that we needed one at the time, and that we were working on a solve, and Mark had the solve. So now we've got weapons, there's one weapon every game that can only be found in the crafting pool, and that sort of lets the Volt come in cleanly and take up the place of a spot so there's not an extra weapon on the ground.
Very cool. And crafting actually is going to play into another big thing that we are changing within the meta for season 6, and that's how armor is going to work. So McCord, do you want to give us like a breakdown of like the armor changes that are going to be in season 6 across all modes?
I am so excited about this. This is such a big change to the whole game. Drum roll. All armor in the game is Evo armor. Everything you find on the ground is an Evo armor. Now, you fly into the map with a level 0 Evo armor on you. What this means is you can land, you can find a gun right away, you can start to get in a fight, you do 50 damage, your armor will level up automatically, and now you'll have a white armor. We think this will really help with sort of loot availability in the early game. And then if you find purple right away, sometimes right off the drop, you find the purple just right there, right? You'll see it, it'll be a glowing Evo armor. You pick it up, you can swap it right out, and now you have a purple Evo armor. You can continue leveling it up to red. Or if you find a blue, you'll keep leveling it up. And just as a couple clarifications there, gold is still on the map, still in the same rare sort of availability that it's always been. And there's no reds in the ground loot. So you can only get to red through Evo, through doing damage. So what's really exciting about this change is that we've now given you 3 different ways to get to good armor through all the different systems. So now you can land, you can get a weapon, you can start doing damage. You get in a really big fight without even having the chance to loot an armor, and suddenly you have blue armor because you've just done some damage. You just use some shield cells, heal it up, and you're good. You can still run into armor through the RNG, find some armor on the ground, get upgrades that way. And with crafting, you can land, you can do a bunch of damage, you can level up to blue, you can still have another 100 damage points to get to purple. Go and let's say you just finished the fight, you've won the POI, you've got the little crafting materials here, you can walk up to the crafting station, you can craft that last 100 damage to your Evo, and you can walk out of there with purple. So all these systems together really give people a lot of options. Sort of adding on to that, we want to make sure that at the end of the game, not everybody is very easily red, right? If our current tuning, if everyone started with Evo armor, they would all be red by the end of the game. So we've tuned it all down, and the numbers are in the patch notes, so you can look that up. One more change that's pretty significant is that all the armor has come down 25 health. So this is changing pretty much the time to kill of the whole game. So white armor is still 25 health, then blue armor is 50 health. Then instead of purple going up to 100 health, it goes up to 75, and red goes up to 100. Max health in the game is back to 200 health. Purple armor is 175. All these changes, we think they all play really importantly together to make sure that the game is balanced and exciting. Can't wait.
Another thing we got for season 6 is, we're doing daily treasure packs and some cool new ways that we're doing storytelling, like we saw with quests in season 5. So we've made some changes there into sort of like how this will work for players. So McCord, can you kind of like break down for us how like these treasure packs and the quests are going to work for season 6?
Yeah, so the treasure pack system is pretty much the same. Yeah, so you get one max, you still get one max every day. You take it back to the lobby, you get your reward track. And instead of telling a story through text now, we've transitioned all of that storytelling into full color comic pages drawn by the artists at Dark Horse, written by Manny's team, it really gives us a more visual way to tell the story, and it makes the story a lot more richer. You know, you're not trying to imagine what the bar might look like or what the characters are doing on screen. It's awesome art. We really wanted to double down on telling a story with quests. That was sort of always the goal. What you're going to notice is that there are no PvE missions this season. And just to touch on that a little bit, I was trying to be pretty clear about that in season 5, how the PvE missions they were an experiment. We kind of used what we had with the Prowlers to put in some new content to help tell a story. The quest has always been about a way to tell a story. So we wanted to make sure that we put our effort into all the things that really mattered this season. I think we're telling a better story with the storytelling is stronger. And some of the gameplay stuff kind of went into the other content for the rest of the season.
An opportunity to actually see the world outside of the games was always something we wanted to touch on, and we got to do that a little bit with the quests and the chapters, but with just text, you didn't really get the chance to see that. So now you're going to be able to see that. I mean, and Tom Castiello, who is a master at hitting those cliffhangers, I mean, every week you're going to get something that's going to keep pulling you in, and it's going to be really cool to see our fans react to this upcoming story, and the visuals and the places that we've only imagined will actually be on page.
Season 6, which means a new battle pass. It'll operate the same way it has in the other seasons. Cost is the same, a lot of the same cosmetics. Man, our art team and animators, the new banners, the new skydive emotes.
The theme is so good.
Oh my good. The music theme is incredible. The weapon skins are great. The chase item being this reactive G7 skin that is just beautiful, beautiful work by everybody. But we are introducing one new cosmetic, which is a lot of fun. We'll show you a few of them here, and that is hollow sprays, a way that you can basically kind of flex a little bit in the game. And these are a lot of really fun, creative things that match a lot of the personality and sort of tone for each of the legends really well. So that will be a new cosmetic that you're introducing on this track. There's more stuff we're going to talk about with Season 6. Like I said, there are some other big meta changes to the game, even more than the crafting and armor changes of stuff we've been working on for a while with Legends and weapons. And so in our next segment, David Bocek is going to join me with one of our designers, Daniel Klein, to go into more detail about what you guys can expect with the meta changes when this goes live tonight. My friends, thank you so much for joining me in our busy schedules.
Always a good time.
Guys, everybody stay tuned for our next segment. We go into the patch notes. All right, so here I am with another couple of our designers. Well, Bocek, you were with us in our last segment and through the magic of editing. Here you are again. And joining us is Mr. Daniel Klein. For the first time on our dev streams, Daniel's been with us for a while now as a designer, working primarily on the Legends in the game, both in the live game and future stuff that'll be coming out down the road. So, Daniel, let's kick it off with you, my friend. What are some of the there's some big changes that are coming to Legends, and we've been working on this stuff for a while, so it's really exciting to see this come to life in Season 6. So could you walk us through some of the bigger changes? And then for those of you watching at home, patch notes are live on playapex.com. So if you want to pull those up right now and have those, and you can read along with us as we talk through it. But Daniel, talk to us a little about Legends.
Yeah, so patch 6.0, as far as Legends is concerned, is going to be the patch of the Recon class. If you need a quick reminder, the Recon champions currently in the game are Pathfinder, Crypto, and Bloodhound. So the first thing we're doing is we're taking Pathfinder's passive, which is he can walk up to a survey beacon and get the location of the next ring. And we're turning it into what we call a class passive. That is to say, a passive that is available to every legend of that class. So to make up for that, we give the robot a little something. Specifically, we're making it so that every time that Pathfinder uses the survey beacon, the maximum cooldown of his ultimate is reduced by 10 seconds. So theoretically, this is very theoretical, if you did it for each one of the 6 circles, you could go down to a 1-minute cooldown on your ultimate, the zipline gun. Next up, Crypto. Crypto is a very interesting Recon legend because both his strengths and his weaknesses are so sharp. The thing we're doing for Crypto is we're giving his drone a lot more utility. Specifically, the drone will be able to use both survey beacon and respawn beacon without a use time. So you just fly up, press the button, and you're done. Additionally, we do like it when enemies spend some time shooting at the drone. So what we're doing is we're doubling the hit points of the drone, but making the drone slightly easier to hit. Remember, the time that enemies spend shooting at your drone is time they don't spend shooting at your teammates. And finally, this is the one I'm most excited about, Bloodhound. During Bloodhound's ultimate, their tactical will have a 6-second cooldown and half the use time. So by use time, we mean the total amount of time during which you cannot shoot heal, or reload. So that'll be much, much shorter. This means that during their ultimate, they'll be able to scan over and over and over. Additionally, for a few patches now, they've had a mechanic in the ultimate where if they get a knockdown or a kill, the duration of the ultimate will be extended. We fiddled with that a little bit more. We're making it so that if you are at very, very low remaining duration at 10 seconds or below, you're basically going to be set back to about 15 seconds of remaining duration. So get a couple of knockdowns and stay in that super scan mode forever. Those are just the highlights of the recon changes. Like Jay mentioned, you can go on playapex.com and read all the other small changes.
Very cool stuff. And I think it'll take me as a Bloodhound player. It'll be interesting to kind of like add that to my rotations and into my sort of thought process of like, oh, I can go like use the beacons now to sort of like find the next area on the map. So it'll be interesting to see how other players use that addition to it.
It's going to be a little bit more interesting for Bloodhounds because you'll have to do some climbing to get to them.
Yep.
For Crypto, it's even easier because he just flies his drone right up to them and gets the ring.
Bocek, you've been very busy as well, my friend. So in the previous segment, we talked about the Vault coming in and that kind of being another energy weapon. So energy mags come back. So there's a lot going on with energy weapons this time around. So can you talk a little bit about some of the bigger meta changes that we can expect now with weapons in Season 6?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, the Vault is coming in. It's a new energy SMG. In addition, we're doing some supply drop changes. So some of the weapons that are in the supply drop are going to be coming into the normal pool, or one of the weapons. So specifically, the Devotion, which has been in the supply drop for a couple seasons now, is going to come into the regular loot pool again. That sort of fits well with the energy weapon, additions to this season, and it also works well with Rampart, who has the LMG affinity, so it adds another LMG into the pool, which works well with her. To replace the Devotion going into the supply drop is the R99. And this is sort of a crazy one, but the R99 has been such a strong weapon for a long time, and also moving the R99 into the care package is going to give the Vault a little more room to breathe and a little more room to sort of be unique in the SMG space. I'm interested to see what happens when one of the primary SMGs is energy ammo instead of light ammo. There's a lot of play between light ammo weapons and light ammo attachments and stuff, so I'm interested to see how that loot game changes up. It'll also be interesting to see an SMG like the R99 in the supply drop. Along with that, the R99 is getting a damage buff and magazine increase and such. We're adjusting the values on those weapons accordingly to adjust their power. One thing, so now that we have the Devotion out of the supply drop into the regular loot pool, we have the Volt, the Devotion, the L-Star, and the Havoc. So we have 4 energy weapons on the ground this season. And that gives us a good reason to bring the energy mags back. So energy mags will drop on the ground again. The magazine counts of the weapons, except for the L-Star, which doesn't have a magazine, have been adjusted accordingly. You'll find energy mags on the ground again. Another thing that we're doing along with this is to reduce the energy ammo brick size from 30 back to 20. We increased it from 20 to 30 when we only had 2 energy weapons on the ground, because a lot of the energy ammo bricks you find in the world are the ones that spawn next to weapons. So with more weapons spawning, you should see more energy bricks on the ground, and that means we're reducing the stack size back down. Furthermore, with the Devotion coming back into the regular loot pool, this is a good opportunity to bring the turbocharger back. So the turbocharger hop-up is coming back. That'll be attached to the Havoc and the Devotion again. So the Havoc will take 2 hop-ups, the Devotion will take the turbocharger. Now, as we bring a hop-up back into the loot pool, we tend to want to vault a hop-up at the same time from the loot pool, so we don't have too many on the ground. So right now, the choke is only equippable by the triple take, since the Peacekeeper has it naturally in the supply drop. So we are removing the choke loot from the ground, but we're not removing the choke. We're just removing the little hop-up piece that you find on the ground. The choke is going to be integrated into the triple take and the Peacekeeper. So whenever you find a triple take, it's going to have the choke on it. Now, some people don't want to use the choke all the time or don't want to use the choke at all, so we've added the ability to toggle the choke. So if you press fire select, you'll turn the choke functionality on and off on both the Peacekeeper and the triple take. In addition to all the other changes that you can find on the patch notes and Play Apex, those are sort of the major weapons changes we're looking at for this season.
Really exciting. There are some additional changes that are in there, and we appreciate both of you guys writing some really nice designer notes that give some context to the changes that are in the patch notes. Again, those are live right now, so if you're not looking at them already, you can go ahead and check out to read the rest of the changes that'll be coming tonight when Season 6 goes live. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me in our busy, crazy work from home schedules. Super excited for tonight. And please, whether it's Reddit, forums, Twitter, whatever it is that you like to go talk, please leave us your feedback as you guys are playing this season. We're going to be looking forward to see what you guys think. And we'll see you next month on the next dev stream. Have fun.
Oh boy, they are finally here. The patch notes for Season 6. Now, Season 6 isn't going to go live for about another 9 hours, but we will be jumping in to the update on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed. But either way, let's go through the patch notes. I want to read it and we can react, and of course, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So first up, we have the World's Edge update. We pretty much know everything about that already. You can read the blog here. I'll put a link in the description if you want to read about that. We already know about Ramya as well. She's British Indian. She has the modded loader passive, which increases the LMG reload speed and magazine capacity. The amp cover, which is the amped wall, A-wall from Titanfall basically. And you can also put down 3 miniguns at once for you and your team to use. Now we have the Vault. Now, we found out through the dev stream that basically it is going to have less fire rate than, say, the R99, but it's easier to shoot long range and it's easier to control the recoil. So it's a more controllable SMG with perhaps slower DPS. So yeah, it's going to feel good. It's going to be more of a mid-range option between the, say, R9 and R301. So definitely exciting to give a go. And it's an energy weapon. So the bullets are going to fire pretty quickly through the air. So that's something to consider as well. Next, we have the crafting system. We all know the RNG gods are not always in your favor. With Season 6, we're introducing a crafting system. 5 materials for the map via loot bins or material stations. Then take these to a replicator. In the replicator, you'll find 8 different pieces of loot that you can craft. If you have enough materials, some of this loot rotates on a weekly or daily basis. But you'll always be able to see what's currently craftable in the game mode selector or the map screen. It looks like we have a bit more information that's not really there yet. Now, the armor meta apparently is changing a lot this season. So, first off, all armor in the game is Evo armor, except the gold armor. So, pretty interesting stuff. So, let's see how it works. When you find a white, blue, or purple armor on the ground, it's a pre-leveled Evo armor. So, that means you're always going to be able to fight to level up your armor. So, if you just get a level 2, it's not going to matter so much. That's actually pretty decent. Another interesting change is that players spawn with level 0 Evo armor. That's pretty big too. If you get in gunfights right away and do enough damage, you automatically level up into a white armor, and you can take that all the way to red. This will really help with loot availability in the early game. That's really, really cool actually. I really do like that. The last big difference is that all armor is coming down by 25 health. This means players with purple and gold have 175, not at 200. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. Time to kill is a bit long with the red armor, and now that everybody can get it, they don't want to draw out fights with everybody. Reasonable. Of course, we got the hollow sprays too. That's something that we kind of expected. Yeah, interesting stuff. Battle Pass. Now, they showed off the entire Battle Pass here. If you have not seen it yet, we can also just quickly flick through here. But like I say, you can go to the EA website, kind of check out everything that we get. Obviously, at level 50, we have this awesome Bloodhound skin. Level 100, the Scout skin. So, pretty awesome. Now, there is a quest coming in Season 6. We thought that we wouldn't get a quest, but it is coming. But this time it's a bit different. What's happening with that. So essentially, we'll get comic strips now instead of just text, which is pretty cool, but no PvE content. So yeah, let me play the clip for that.
Yeah, so the treasure pack system is pretty much the same. Yeah, so you get one max. You still get one max every day. You take it back to the lobby. You get your reward track, and instead of telling a story through text, now we've transitioned all of that storytelling into full color comic pages drawn by the artists at Dark Horse, written by Manny's team. It really gives us a more visual way to tell the story, and it makes the story a lot more richer. You know, you're not season.
A look at the Recon class. A class built around information gathering should be powerful. Out the 3 we also had obviously alright. It's between 5 seconds and 15 seconds based on how long is left. That's kind of mad. Eye of the All-Father cooldown during Beast of the Hunt is 6 seconds, so you can scan like crazy whilst in the ultimate. Wow, that's really cool. Okay. Ooh, this is a big buff for Crypto. Crypto can now activate respawn and slow teammates caught on the blast, even if they had no shields. So this is kind of a nerf to the Crypto Revenant push thing. So that's pretty interesting. That is actually really crazy. Wow. I'm really shocked. That's actually a really good buff to both Crypto and Bloodhound. Let's see what's happened to Revenant. For 2 seconds after being recalled by the Death Totem, players cannot use Wraith's Dimensional Rift. Okay, makes sense. I think that Revenant's still going to be very strong though. Stim can now use Stim while healing, but Stim will not remove the slow you incur from healing. Interesting, okay. Context Wallova was initially very popular. She's been struggling to keep up more recently, so we're tossing her a little buff. Okay, interesting. Lowered cooldown from 3 minutes to 90 seconds. So not massive, but it's something. Gibraltar increased cooldown from 3 minutes to 4.5 minutes. Fair enough. Gibby's fairly strong. Decreased cooldown from 4.5 minutes to 3 minutes for Bangalore. I was hoping for more for Bangalore, honestly. It looks like we're not getting much. Interception, Pylon, Trophy System will now shoot down caustic barrels in flight. Ooh, that is a good... That's a good buff to Watson. Definitely a good counter to caustic. I'm glad to see that. Let's see, we got the energy mags and the turbo chopper back. Turbocharger. Turbo chopper sounds cool though. Precision choke removed from the loot pool, but it's now integrated into the chopper taken Peacekeeper by default. This is great. Awesome. This is what I was hoping for. And as we expected, the R99 is a care package weapon now. 32 magazine size, 12 damage. That's actually, oh my god, that's going to shred. Devotion, it's basically the same, but you're going to need to get those attachments to make it good again. And fully kitted weapon swap. So this season we have the Devotion, Mastiff, Triple Take, Flatline, and Volt. Interesting. Okay, you can pick up more sniper ammo when you pick it up off the floor, and less energy ammo. Now let's see about the weapon update. Reduced vertical recoil and burst mod. Okay, a small buff for the Hemlock. Slightly reducing recoil and pattern. Burst mode per time. Ooh. Hemlock burst has got a buff. Charge rifle now use 2 ammo per shot. Increased mag size from 4 to LRK. So basically they want you to chug through sniper ammo. Fair enough. Increased fire rate. Increased mag size. Ooh. That's pretty decent for the triple take. Nice. So built the choke hop up into the weapon by default. But does that mean the Peacekeeper's floor loot now? No, it's still care package, okay. Spitfire improved recoil controllability, okay. Havoc, ooh. The Havoc's existing recoil pattern had constant horizontal movement. This means it would either be too difficult to control if there's too much recoil, or far too easy to control if there's too little recoil. Updating to a new pattern is But does that mean it's flawless now? It's still kept. Recall are far too easy to control. Little recall, updating to a new command in demand. But does that mean flawless?